What's up, kids? We're going to do a shorter, longer game. Rapid. Okay. This is on 1565. I just got a message off chess.com saying somebody had cheated and they put me back up to 1581 or something like that. But okay. So this is the French defense now. Very solid. What I am playing right now against the French defense is this dubious Diemer-Duhm Gambit, but it does get me some quick-ass wins. So we don't know what's going to happen. Okay, they take. Honestly, this is, along with probably the von Hennig, I'm getting really, really cheeky results with this one. Seriously, I am. It's probably going to bring the knight out. At which point I bring my knight out, at which point he brings out his bishop to pin my knight and remove it as the defender of the pawn, at which point I play queen a4 with check. Oh, hello. Hello there. Well, this is new, so we're in new territory. I'm rather inclined to play this move anyway. Defends the pawn, attacks this pawn, creates a problem for my opponent. He could bring out his bishop to defend, he could bring out his knight to defend. All of this is fine. If knight comes out, I can pin his knight, that's okay. I do want to develop my king side also. But it feels like this is more useful at this point in time. I'm not really in a rush. I am a pawn down, and I have an IQP, the isolated queen's pawn. Opponent has now played his knight to somewhat unorthodox position. I mean, look, in the French, this knight does very often come to that square with the idea of coming around to g6 rather than going straight to f6. But, so what's he doing? He's kind of attacking that. I could just take this pawn. I could just take this pawn now. And it hits the bishop. If the bishop moves, he's going to have two attackers on this pawn. He's going to have knight and queen. So should I add another defender? I kind of like this idea. I'm not in a rush to recapture the pawn. That's not the point of playing a gambit. The point of playing a gambit is to get quick development. Now at this point I don't actually have really the development initiative either, because we've both got two pieces out on the board. It's black to play, black castles. Okay, so do we snatch the pawn back now, or do we continue to build pressure? Well, the question is, can we build pressure effectively? Otherwise, getting a central pawn is a useful thing. Now, I'm kind of inclined to do this and attack the bishop. We have a black semi-open file on the E file. We have a white semi-open file on the D file. That is, there's only a black pawn on E and there's only a white pawn on D. What that means is that these files are very unlikely to get blocked up in the centre. And that means that it's going to be a rather bishopy board. In fact, this pawn's probably not going to live for very long anyway, so we don't have to worry too much about him. I see no reason not to take. What's he got? Queen can't come out. If he plays his bishop out to here, it's not an issue. I just take his bishop. Just take this one. That's what I want to do. I want to get the bishop pair. I want to get my bishops like lined up over here, something like this, and I want to checkmate the bugger. Checkmate him. He's called Williams _ that's the move we thought he would play. He's apparently in Italy. Okay, I'm going to take the bishop. Queen probably takes, otherwise he's going to have an IQP as well. So I'm thinking queen takes. Then I think I can probably just, develop here. Idea maybe coming in here, hit the queen. This is not a terrible position. I've regained my pawn. He's going to do this. I'm probably going to do this. I'd like that pawn to move at some point in time because it's actually in my bishop's way, but my bishop's doing a bit of a job to defend it. I might drop my bishop back to b3 at some point, but that would cost me... Oh, he's taken with the pawn. Huh. Well, that's an odd idea, because the thing is, taking with the queen brings him one step towards connecting his rooks. Very unusual. Okay, bishop out here is a thought, pinning the knight and developing. But I feel like I want to bring out my king's knight. I want to get my king castled. We have an open e-file. I could very much expect rook e8 to come very soon. So what do we want to do? This and then just castle. I don't see a real argument for knight e2 rather in preference to knight f3. No, I just don't. So I'm on 12 minutes 51 because I'm talking to you. Williams_Nick is spending less time. He's used only 40 seconds of his allotted time. But he's gained 9 times 10. He's gained a minute and a half back as well. So. Blocks the queen's defense of this pawn. Is there anything we can say about that? I mean, we could drop a bishop here, we could drop a bishop here. Oh. I mean, here's better because it pins the knight on the queen. That's the point. It may prompt a pawn push like f6. Ooh, f6 would be probably more likely h6. But shall we just get the king castled first? And then we'll worry about that, right? What I'm happy about... Okay, let's recap. Attack once, defended twice. Fine. White has an isolated queen's pawn. Black has an isolated queen's pawn. White has the bishop pair, right? So we have 2 bishops and 1 knight. Black has 2 knights and 1 bishop. Plus, black has put his knights in quite passive locations on the board. Also blocking in her maj as well. So I'm thinking about this, connect the rooks. Actually complete development before black does, but it depends if he brings his queen out. He's got 3 places he could bring his queen. None of them is particularly scary. Notice that he's only got a light squared bishop now, which means he's got potentially, well, the truth is he's got less control over the dark squares. Unless he puts his knights onto light squares, which will then control the dark squares quite well. Okay, there we go. Rook e8 has indeed come, but I'm going to play this move anyway, pinning this knight. I mean, the idea of rook e8 is that knight's going to move, and I'm now saying, no, you don't. No. Ooh, this town is coming like a ghost town. Do I just come here straight away and target this? The knight can't move there to defend it. There to defend it would be ugly. Or this knight could move with a discovered defense by the queen. Or do I just drop it like here, where it's at least defended by a pair of pawns? But I could come here, create this problem, he has to deal with it, and then I drop it back if I want to. But I really want this pawn to move. Now he's pushed f6. I think that was inaccurate. I think h6 was a much better move, because now he's in line for a discovered check. Not clever, precious. Not clever at all, my love. Okay. Bishop to here. I've created a problem for you. The knight can't defend the pawn. The bishop cannot ever defend a dark square directly. How do you defend this pawn? You have to move the knight. This rook can't defend it. This rook can't defend it. The king can't get there. There's only one way not to lose the pawn, and that's that this horsey has to move. Otherwise, I simply take, Could even drop back. I could drop back here. All good. Lovely open board. Right, really crying out for some bishop pressure. Not entirely happy about the fact that this bishop is on an undefended square right now. But I may invest a move in dropping it to a defended square, protected square like b3, if I need to. Okay. Oh, okay. Ah, there was another move. And we was both immediately arrested, handcuffed. And I said, Obi, I don't think I can pick up the garbage with his handcuffs on. He said, shut up, kid. Okay, so he's defending this. He's also attacking this. Now, my first thought is like that. Yeah, nothing. Right? Now, alternatively, I could defend the pawn with my queen. But why use my most powerful piece for the lowly job of defending a pawn? I could just push it here. The pawn is now safe because it's on a protected square. I could drop my bishop back here again and harass the queen still further. Maybe ideas like queen up here. This is actually quite nice as well. I could try and take out his other bishop. Or, can't draw today, knight in here. What an outpost. Point is, it's an outpost because it's A, defended by a pawn, and B, can't be disturbed by any of black's pawns because black's pawns have already moved off the mark. Therefore, they are no longer able to control e6 because pawns can't go, that's right, backwards. So I feel like we have some flexibility here. We have some options here. I don't like black's knights. This knight can't go there. This knight, well, I suppose, could go here. It's a fort. It's definitely a fort. But, you know, here... Oh, hello. I'm liking this move very much indeed. If my knight can go there, it's then looking at g7, yeah, and I've got ideas of like queen here somehow. Queen here. And that's just gotta be good. Right, so the question we have to ask ourselves is, let's be more fish, right? You be more fish. So, pretend you, you know the rules to chess, but you just calculate your way through everything, right? Now, I could harass the queen. The queen goes here. What's been gained? Nothing. Knight here. I'm attacking the bishop. Can't go there. Okay? So he can't stay where he is. Well, I mean, he can, but then I'll probably take him out. Okay? If he goes here, queen takes him. If he goes here, pawn takes him. That's no good. Right? If he goes here, pawn takes him. That's no good. So knight here. Could he come here? Yeah, I've got f3. No, I haven't. The f pawn is actually pinned. I don't have f3. So he could come in there. A bit clunky though, but even so, I always had this. You know? There's all kinds of ideas here. There. I mean, if he plays bishop here, I don't know. I might even... But if I stick my rook and my king in the corner, my king's then on the same colour as the bishop. Having... Oh, actually, there's an error in my visualization. Bishop here, I do have f3 because the pawn is no longer pinned because the knight now blocks. But the knight then would be pinned. Right, question. Do we want the bishop? This is an important question. Queen here is a thought. This puts double attention on the bishop. Then bishop probably just moves back here with tempo and hits the queen. Also, his queen is the only defender of this pawn. See, so let's put these in orange, right there. This is defended only by the bishop. This is defended only by the rook. right? This is defended twice, that's okay. Da, da, da. If I go in here, he could take me out with a bish. Then I've got a decent pawn, like halfway down his throat. That's not a bad thing. Here, knight takes. Still kind of drawn to this though. I like this. The one slight problem is that I blunder the knight. Here, knight takes. Can I come in here and hit the knight? I don't know. I'm in two minds about how good a piece this bishop is. But my instinct says, get rid. I kind of lose that, but then, I don't know. H3, G4. What's he going to do? He's going to drop back here. No, I'm going to go, just keep it simple. I'm going to go towards an ending with the bishop pair against a pair of knights. And I think, see, now I could move my king to H1 if I needed to. So let's recap. This knight is undefended. The rooks are obviously both defended. The king doesn't count. King, that's undefended. That's defended only by the queen, we'll put you in orange. That's defended only by the queen, we'll put you in orange, and that's defended twice. Okay. So we've got two knights. Both of which are undefended. Now, let's say I was to stick my bishop here. Can he defend both knights? Well, I don't know if he can. But I'm not going to attack the queen here. He could take it with a knight. What about queen here? I mean, stop me. Okay, he can defend knight number one with a pawn push. He can't defend with a rook. He can't defend with the other knight. This is the thing, right? This is actually 1, 2, 3 jumps just to defend this knight. Knight's very slow at moving 1 square diagonally or 2 squares diagonally. 1 square is not bad, it's 2 jumps, but this is literally 4 jumps. Here he pushes. That, I believe, is a concession. I like it. I like it. What are you going to do? Also, I've connected my rooks, which is no bad thing. My bishop is playing the part of a tall pawn right now. But that's okay, I can live with that. This is the big kind of blockage, the only real blockage on the board, which is kind of making life hard. But, you know, let's say my bishop pops to here one day, you know? Could be good. I feel like I'm better. I feel a bit like giving more mind, paying more mind to doing what needs to be done to win a game. You know, if it's like I'm going into games saying if this comes down to grinding it out and a pawn foot race at the end, if I can win it, I'll win it. Right? I will do what it takes to win. And he's having a think now. This is about his longest think ever. He's had 3 thinks of just over a minute and hold on a moment. Do I just win a knight and then potentially another pawn on top? Has to be. I mean, what can he do? What can he do? He attacks me with a rook. I just dance all the way back here. He can't sacrifice his queen. We just win a piece. I was not expecting that. I was honestly expecting him to to push like G6, but well, Williams_Nick, I'm not sure you've excelled yourself so far, buddy. And now it's 2 bishops against 1 knight. Bum, bum, bum. So I got a bit of grief the other day for failing to win a piece. There's a Vienna type pin here with a pinned pawn defending a bishop. I could have just took the bishop. And he resigns. Wow. Hello to Rangatang17 from Australia. I have to play didgeridoo sometime. One of my other hobbies. I'm doing it for years and years and years. I picked up my first bamboo didgeridoo in Glastonbury Festival 1992. But you can always go to barefootdidgeridoos.com as well. Okay, so that was just a out and out blunder. Out and out blunder, and I played like a 1900. Okay, and here it's marginal, man. Marginal. 0.74 in white's favour. And he thought for like ever. 1 minute 12. And then stuck his own winkle in the bacon grinder. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, I will take that all day long. So just, yeah, flicking back to the thing. Okay, the French defence. Of course it says it's an inaccuracy. Right, takes, and what's best here? Okay, well, okay, here it says mistake. Now, from this point on, I improved. It says it's a mistake. I know it's a trick. Okay, let me show you. Let's just do a recap. Explorer in chess.com. My games is white. We go and then C4. I'm currently hitting 57% win rate. Okay, and that's over 76 games. This is not, you know, what have I tried before? E5, the advanced variation, 40% win rate for me. Right? I mean, that's going into one of the classic French lines. My French playing opponent is going to know that like the back of his hand. It's going to know exactly what to do against the advanced variation, right? So that's number one, 40% against 56 for me. Number two, the exchange variation. E takes D5, 48-48, right? Equal. C4, however, 57% against 36 win rate for me, because I get some quick wins, mate. DE is correct. D5, I'm now winning 63%. E takes D5, most common move, by a mile. I'm winning 68%. C takes, right? What do they play? Knight F6. What do I play? Knight C3. 20 games, I've won 15 of them. Okay? And the most common move, by a mile, 18 games with this. Right? Queen A4 check, I'm winning 72% of the time. They are going to lose material. If the knight comes out to block, I take the knight. This is the whole point of the gambit, right? Look at, fix your eyes on this square here, right? This guy, right? D5, this is the whole point. We want to prevent the knight from coming out, okay? Push, we have a pawn on here, right? We are controlling C6. They take, we take back. We still have a pawn on here. We're still controlling C6. Their knight comes out thinking, I attack you, right? Our knight comes out saying, I defend. We have two attackers, two defenders. It is not in black's interest to take. And black thinks, haha, simple tactic. I will pin the defender, removing it as a defender, and then you go, not so fast, Sonny Jim. And thanks to my pawn installed on D5, I know, kind of feel dirty, but you know, 75% win rate when they go for it, not to be sniffed at. And like we've just seen, you know, the game can go many different ways. They don't have to do that, of course. Here, I mean, c6 is played quite a lot. Is it at this point? I don't know. I thought it was, but apparently not at all. You know, there's many different games, many different ways it can go, but it's not ridiculous as we just saw in that one. You know, principal play, you can still hold your own, even if a gambit is not properly accepted. So there we go. There we go. So in 50 minutes, I'm doing a roundtable discussion on Zoom about the ethics of meat. So I've got a few vegans, fruitarians, friends, whatever, coming along to talk about this. I'm contemplating writing a book about it. We shall see. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that one, guys. Thank you for watching. Do appreciate it. See you soon.